the insulation has torn, okay, and then it was creating a burn. Hi guys, welcome to Asher and Gad channel, making Africa home again, one family at a time. So we're on site again today, glorious Saturday afternoon, roasting as usual. Give you another site update, a few things to talk about today. First thing is the compacting is done, more or less done. So if Crystal pans the camera, you can see the driveway being formed. Okay, it's all been done. You can see the curbs going in, as I've talked about in previous videos. The curbs are going in. Everything's been compacted along the whole compound. This is the back as well. Okay, and it's all been leveled to suit, if you like, the drainage plan. All right, to suit the drainage plan so that the land doesn't get waterlogged when it rains. Now, in terms of compacting, there's a video coming up on your screen that shows you how the compacting was done. It was really a roller. You know, it's got an engine to it, and the guy just goes around and compacts the land. It's really firm, actually, really firm. And it cost the charge, including transportation, was about 600 Ghana cedis. Okay, which is about £75 or so, all for the compacting. And it took about let's say about 5 hours to compact the entire land around the plot where we are going to live. Okay, so we're gonna walk around the site so you can see the extent of the full compacting. So guys, there you have it. You can see the whole land has been nicely compacted, which is great. There are some areas that still need a bit of work. For example, there are some pipes that come out, which the builder has to come back and dig around them and put a 45-degree bend in them. Even the septic tank, right? The septic tank cover that needs to be exposed, and block work needs to be raised with a cover put on it, so that we always know exactly where the septic tank entrance in the final landscape plan. Annoyingly, they seem to have forgotten about that. They've covered it over. So I've come here and said, you need to dig that bit up again, do the block work over the septic tank entrance, so we know exactly where the entrance is all the time. Now, obviously, that's important, even though the septic tank is dislodged by a car outside. It's important to know where the entrance is, just in case. You never know what will happen in the future. You know, if in the future we want to do something with the tank or convert it to a biodigester, if that's possible, then we need to know exactly where that entrance is. All right? So what we're going to do now, we're going to go to the roof, because I want to talk about something that happened yesterday regarding the electrical wiring. So let's follow me. Let's head off to the roof. Guys, so we're up here on the roof. What I want to talk about on the roof is something we found out yesterday. A little bit scary, but just thank the Yehovah that we found it. So this light, that light, and that light, they were not working. Okay, and basically our caretaker said he began to smell as if some sort of burning smell. Okay, over a couple of days. We didn't know what it was. So thank God I brought the electrician in yesterday, and we inspected the cables. We realized that one of the cables was burning, and we pulled it out, Unfortunately, I haven't got a picture. We pulled it out and realized the installation had burnt off. And what happened was, that's why two of these lights were not working. What happened was, during the installation, when they were fishing the cables through the if you like, the conduit, when they were pulling it through, the cable would have got damaged, because obviously they're doing it in a rush, not with much care. They just want to get their money and go to the next job, doing it in a rush. Okay, and the installation has torn. Okay, and then it was creating a burn. So really, very quite a dangerous situation. But thank God we picked it up, ripped off the cable, and replaced it. Now, that's obviously a safety thing. We know electrical can be dangerous. Over in the more developed world, like the UK and the US, there are certain devices. Okay, I'm going to try and find a picture. If I find it, it's on your screen. Arc flash detection devices, and what that is, it goes in your distribution board, and if any electrical circuit produces an arc, because before a fire happens, an arc is formed in the cable or in the circuit. There's a short and an arc, and so that device detects that arc. It's like an early warning for fire about to occur. When it detects that arc before the fire happens, then it disconnects the circuit, and therefore the fire doesn't happen. It's called arc flash detection devices. I don't think they have them in Ghana. I mean, I struggled to even find RCBOs. They don't have them in Ghana, which is unfortunate. In America, I think they call them AFCIs. So I'm not sure what that is. All I'll say is, if you're coming from the diaspora, you might want to look into that and bring them along with you. Okay, arc flash AFDDs, arc flash detection devices. If you're in the UK, if you're in America, I believe they're called AFCIs. They go in the distribution board, and if you like, they detect an early sign of a possible fire and disconnect the power supply, which is very safe. Okay, if I find it in Ghana, I'll let you guys know, because I would want to replace some of our breakers with those, just to give us an extra layer of protection. Okay, let me just go back to my notes to see if I've missed anything. Yes, one final thing I want to talk about, guys, is the solar water tank. So if you go over here, so guys, sometimes when you're dealing with the artisans, sometimes you go 5 steps forward and then you come back 1.5 steps. So effectively, you've only gone forward 3.5 steps. So we put this solar water tank in, and we were testing and commissioning it yesterday, and realized that yes, the water is heating up, but it's not really flowing into the house properly. Okay, and even though the plumber has done a relatively good job, we realized that there was supposed to be a pump pumping from that tank, okay, that big tank on the roof, to this solar water tank itself. But unfortunately, the plumber didn't install that pump, because he thought the tank itself was higher than the solar water tank, so therefore be able to push the water up into it, which absolutely not, because it has to climb this height, which wouldn't work. And even if it was coming into the tank at a very small volume, wouldn't work. So now I've got to go and buy a 1 horsepower pump and place it somewhere here with a cover to make sure that it's waterproof. 1 horsepower pump here, connect it into the input pipe so that we can get the right amount of pressure and the tank can fill up within a reasonable amount of time as we need it, to heat up through the pipes and then to deliver the hot water we need, which is about, if you're doing this and you're testing a solar water tank system, know that the hot water coming into the home should be about 65 degrees Celsius. Some people make even higher, but normally 65 degrees Celsius as a minimum. Okay, that's the type of water that should be coming into your home. So once we put that tank in and we can get the right flow, right pressure into our home, then we can really be sure that it works as it should do. We're confident that it will, because the early signs of the testing show that it works, just that the pressure was not enough. So again, that's one to watch out for. You put one of these things in, just speak to your plumber, make sure all the right pumps are in the right places so you can get the right amount of flow that you need into your house. Okay, let me just check my notes again, guys. Just have a look. I believe I've covered everything I need to for today, but let me just have a quick look. Yes, yeah, that's it really. So again, as I always say, at some point you need to be on site, so that even we are on site, and we're going, some cases, 5 steps forward, 1.5 steps back, because obviously we are on site not every single day, because obviously we have 9 to 5s, but we do as much as possible to be here. Gada just reminded me of something that is on top of the parapet wall, so I just show you that. Now, I covered this in a previous video. If you want to watch that video, please click up here, okay? And basically, it relates to where we live now, which is also a flat roof, and there's some leaking coming through the house. When we investigated, we realized was that it was due to the water going through the cracks in the wall that go through an electrical pipe, and that can come into your home. So we decided to do further waterproofing remedies in this house to make sure we never have those problems. So what we have here is a waterproof membrane. It's a fiber, and if you like, a black waterproof acrylic paint that goes all along the flat parapet roof, okay, which is, you know, is a chemical, very waterproof chemical. Now it's dry. What we are going to do next week, on top of this, we are going to have a waterproof screed put on top of this. That waterproof screed will not just be an ordinary mix of sand and cement. There'll be sand and cement, and it will also have waterproofing chemicals mixed within it, okay? And that will be a screed, a sloping screed, okay? A sloping screed that will slope from the front downwards. So if it's 1 inch here, it will be, let's say, 1/4 of an inch here, sloping towards the roof, so that any water can't go in because it's waterproof, but it will fall on the roof floor and then go through the drainage spouts that are on the roof, okay? And that is how we're going to sort of future-proof our building. I remember somebody made a comment about, why don't you slope it this way? The reason why we don't slope it this way is if rain falls and it falls this way, okay, once you paint the outside of your house, sometimes you can get the rainfall mark in your building, okay? And it gives you sort of dirty marks on your building, and you don't want your lovely painted facade of your building ruined by rain drops or rain streaks, if you like. So we're going to slope it this way, again, a waterproof screed, and then that should be it. That should give us the waterproofing that we need. Awesome. Well, I think that's it for this episode. As usual, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so you always be aware when Asher and Gad upload an educational video for your viewing pleasure. Guys, Yebeshia, see you next time.